Under the Biden administration's guidance, use someone's biologically correct pronouns or their legal name. Guess what? It's workplace discrimination. Acknowledging someone identifies as a different gender without their permission, workplace discrimination. Can you define what a woman is?
A woman is a person who says she is. And let me just tell you one story about this, because when I was a child...
No, you're not going to tell me a story. We're not doing that right now. It's not story time.
Yeah, it is story time, because when I was a child,
No, it's not. I'm going to reclaim my time. Be quiet.
That was Nancy Mace of South Carolina questioning Maya Wiley, a so-called civil rights attorney, about what is a woman. This is truly one of the defining questions of our time. As dumb as that sounds, we are in clown world, so it meets the moment. But the fact of the matter is, if you are unable to simply answer what is a man or what is a woman, you're in a cult. And despite what this so-called civil rights attorney is trying to say, a woman is not just anyone who says they're a woman. Unfortunately for America, this ridiculous ideology that they've all adopted does not just apply to this witness. It also applies to a Supreme Court justice.
Can you provide a definition for the word woman?
Can I provide a definition? No,
Yeah.
I can't.
You can't?
Not in
Okay.
this context.
So you
I'm not a
believe the meaning
biologist.
of the
Chairman, the 14th Amendment of the Constitution and the Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 prohibit discrimination on the basis of sex. That has been the law of the land for decades. Unfortunately, Joe Biden is confused. Shocker. The Biden administration and their, quote, gender Taliban can't even define what it means to be a woman. They are erasing what it means to be women and endangering women and girls in the process. The Biden administration's Equal Employment Opportunity Commission in April of this year updated guidance on what constitutes sex-based discrimination. Under the Biden administration's guidance, use someone's biologically correct pronouns or their legal name. Guess what? It's workplace discrimination. Acknowledging someone identifies as a different gender without their permission, workplace discrimination. Insist that biological men use the bathroom or locker room designated for biological men and not terrorize women and girls in the girls' bathroom, workplace discrimination. Where did we lose our way? This is absurd. I tell my kids, when you come home from school with pronouns, you don't come home from school with pronouns, you come home with A's and B's. I don't want to know your pronouns. I don't care about your pronouns. That is not what we should be talking about in school. We should be talking about A's and B's, math, writing, and arithmetic. This guidance by the Biden administration infringes on the First Amendment rights of American workers, threatens the safety of women and girls, and serves to further erase and erode what it means to be a woman. Which leads me to my first question, Ms. Wiley. Can you define what a woman is?
A woman is a person who says she is. And let me just tell you one story about this, because when I was a child...
No, you're not going to tell me a story. We're not doing that right now. It's not story time.
Yeah, it is story time, because when I was a child, I was
No, it's not. I'm going to reclaim my
boy.
time. Be quiet. I'm going to reclaim my time right now. Biological women are real women. A guy born as a man who wants to pretend to be a woman and put him and his big Jim and the twins in the locker room with underage girls, or his little Jim and twins, by the way, is disgusting. I have a daughter. She turned 14 last year. I took her to a store called Aerie for her birthday. We went shopping for an hour in downtown Charleston, South Carolina. She was taken to her dressing room by a biological male in a miniskirt and a lace bralette. It is disgusting. I have no idea if that man was over 18 or under 18. It is absolutely disgusting that we're redefining what women are and allowing men into women's private spaces. And by the way, Ms. Wiley, I am a survivor of rape. I was raped at the age of 16. I am not going to put other women and girls into unsafe situations where biological men with their willy-nillys out, putting women and girls at risk. It's absurd, it's disgusting, and I have 1 minute and 50 seconds left of my questioning. Do you believe, Ms. Wiley, that you need to have a PhD in biology to know what a woman is? Yes or no? Is that a yes or a no?
I first
to my
want to just say
question?
you
I'm
are
running
right.
out of time.
I am so sorry, and you should never
You
have had
didn't
to
do
suffer
it.
from
Do you
sexual
need a PhD
violence.
in biology to know what a woman is? I've been rape shamed by the left, and I'm not going to allow any of that stuff to happen today. Do you believe that you need a PhD to define what a woman is? Yes or no is
I
the
think
question.
every woman is able to define herself as a woman.
It's not how it works. There's biology and science. I would encourage every American to follow the science. Are there risks to women when biological men are in a bathroom with them, Ms. Wiley? Yes or no?
We have every reason to want everyone to be
Can't
safe.
even
and
answer the question.
We are
so
not
the left,
safe
everybody
or
listen
unsafe.
to the left today. They cannot say yes or no when in asking whether or not there are risks to women when biological men are in the bathroom. Can't even say yes or no in the hearing today. This is lunacy. This is absurd. This gender-bending ideology of the left is disgusting. It's absurd, it's absolute lunacy, and it is a mental health issue in our country. If you agree with this ideology of allowing men into women's spaces, you have a mental health problem in this country. I don't have to go on about the Planet Fitness in Alaska just a few weeks ago or months ago where this guy in his boxers is in the locker room shaving, and there's an underage girl in a towel in the locker room with him. This stuff is disgusting, and I'm going to do everything in my power as a conservative woman in this country, in Congress, to protect all of our women and girls from this lunacy that's happening in the country today. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I yield back.
If that back and forth didn't hurt your brain enough, here are some more examples of leftists who are unable to define what a woman is. And even when they are willing to define it, it is a clown world leftist answer that only they would think makes sense.
What is a woman, Mr. Mayor?
Well, I asked that question knowing full well that people may be watching this who may have gender dysphoria and may, have concerns in relation to this issue. So let me be quite direct in relation to this. So a woman, when it comes to biology and sex, is an adult girl. But there are some women who may have gender dysphoria, and trans women can also be women as well.
How do you and how does this government define a woman?
To be honest, Sean, that question's come slightly out of left field for me. Biology, sex, gender. People define themselves. People define their own genders.
Some of it is, based on biology. Some of it is based on hormones. Some of it is based on what you wear and how you present yourself.
A woman is not anything in particular. There's no one particular thing.
There is not one particular thing.
Can you define the word woman without using the word woman?
It's actually kind of it's a curious question, but
Can someone please provide me with a definition of what a woman is? Department of Health. Definition of a man, definition of a woman. Anyone?
It's pretty basic.
Basic stuff. Professor Murphy.
I think there are a variety of definitions, and I think
just a simple
perhaps to give a more fulsome answer, we should take that on notice.
You're going to take on notice the question of what a woman is.
No, well, there are a variety. It's a very contested space at the moment, Senator.
It's not just a woman who's born a woman.
But there are definitions in terms of how people identify themselves. So we're happy to provide our working definition on those.
One of the. I've only been here 2 years. That's the best thing I've seen thus far. Thank you so much.
A woman is someone who says that she is a woman and transitions to be a woman.
Who says that she's what?
I think the question really brings up the fact that it is pretty relative, right? That if you ask women across race, across identities, across class, across culture, you will get a different answer.
How would you define a woman? Because you've asked other people up here to define how we would define a woman. How would you define a woman, Mr. Walsh?
An adult human female.
And how don't trans people, how doesn't a transgender woman fit that definition?
Because they're not female. What is a woman? What is a female? What do these words mean?
It's complicated, and I know you're not going to like that answer, but that's because there are no simple answers in human biology.
Let me ask you, said you're an EMT.
Yes.
Okay, if you're responding to a health emergency. Biological male, somebody with a penis is having a medical emergency. And they say to you, I think I'm having a miscarriage. Would you check them to see if they're having a miscarriage? Would you consider that a possibility for them?
Look. No, but that's because some people don't have body parts. Doesn't mean they're not a woman.
Okay.
Professor Bridges, you said several times, you've used a phrase, I want to make sure I understand what you mean by it. You've referred to people with a capacity for pregnancy. Would that be women?
Many women, cis women, have the capacity for pregnancy. Many cis women do not have the capacity for pregnancy. There are also trans men who are capable of pregnancy, as well as non-binary people who are capable of pregnancy.
So this isn't really a women's rights issue.
We can recognize that this impacts women while also recognizing that it impacts other groups. Those things are not mutually exclusive, Senator Hawley.
Oh, so your view is that the core of this right then is about what?
So I want to recognize that your line of questioning is transphobic, and it opens up trans people to violence by not recognizing that.
Wow, you're saying that I'm opening up people to violence by asking whether or not women are the folks who can have pregnancies?
So I want to note that 1 out of 5 transgender persons have attempted suicide. So I think it's important
because of my line of questioning? So we can't talk about it?
Because denying that trans people exist and pretending not to know that they exist
I'm
is
denying that trans people exist by asking you if you're talking about women having pregnancies?
Do you believe that men can get pregnant?
No, I don't think women can get
So
pregnant.
you are denying that trans people exist?
And that leads to violence? Is this how you run your classroom? Are students allowed to question you?
Absolutely.
Or are they also treated like this, where
No,
they're
they're
told
allowed
that they're
to question
opening up people to violence?
We have a good
by
time in my
questioning?
class. You should join.
Oh, I bet.
You might learn a lot.
Wow, I would learn a lot. I've learned a lot
I
just in this
know,
exchange.
absolutely.
Extraordinary.
Yep.
So we're going on this journey. Boys can be girls, girls can be boys, men can be women, women can be men. It makes me wonder, what is a woman?
What is a woman? A woman is someone who claims that as their identity. It could be many things to many people.
So can you please tell me, or can you please define for me, what is a woman?
Our focus at the department is to provide equal access to students, including students who are LGBTQ, access free from discrimination.
Okay, is that, so what's the definition of a woman? You haven't given me that. You haven't answered my question.
I think that's almost secondary to the important role that I have as Secretary of Education.
My question is not secondary. My question is very simple. What does HHS say the definition of a woman is?
I lead the Department of Education, and my job is to make sure that all students have access to public education, which includes co-curricular activities. And I think you highlighted pretty well the importance of Title IX and giving students equal access, whether it's scholarship and facilities.
Okay, so you're not going to answer my question.
What is a woman? Can you define the term?
I think the answer to what is a woman is a person who aligns with feminine traits that we traditionally associate with females, or that people that align with the feminine side of the spectrum. So that's my answer. And I think that answer should, the definition of everything changes over time. And as we continue to learn more about what humans can really be, I think that can continue to grow. And I hope you understand that.
How would you define a woman?
Yeah, the race of people that admire and lust after the Macho Man Randy Savage.